Welcome back, everybody, to the ESL Premiership. We are jumping right into the action. Wind and Rain versus KiNg. Then remember, on the line today is a spot at the finals of the Premiership. It is a best of 3, and the first map is going to be here on Inferno, as there is a nice little pick there. Astro gets taken down nice and early on, so a decent start for the terrorists. And now they can try and move on, see if they can actually get into a bomb site here.
Yeah, we did ask for a nice quick pause, and we did get it.
We did.
Instantaneous.
Bomb goes down then by
4v4.
By Shaney. Just see Whisk waiting in apps. Does manage to find one. Finds a second as well. Decent work with the Glock there, with Link falling.
Yeah, it's quite an interesting pistol from Wind and Rain. Very aggressive, but it looks like this round has been completely swept away. So, quite unfortunate for Link there. He got the drop on those players running up second mid, but Shaney instantly turns around, instantly headshots, and it basically meant the round was pretty much forced into Wind and Rain's play, essentially.
The start that KiNg's needed as well. This is exactly how you win a series, is by just getting an early round on the board and running away with it, and hoping that your opponents can't get one back straight away. But we are going to see a little bit of a force by the CZs being picked up by Wind and Rain here, just to try and counteract what's going to be bought by KiNgs themselves. 3 SMGs, a couple of rifles, as a grenade manages to take down Dancy straight away there.
Yeah, so normally in Inferno we've got a lot of teams who go quite heavy, go for smokes, because there's so many narrow little edges. Like mids, you can smoke it off 15 seconds off the clock. Same with the Banana, you can do that. Wind and Rain haven't gone for that. They had one smoke, and I think Dancy had a flash as well. So the stereotypical play is to smoke off every entrance and then just take it like that.
Trials, Lumgy both fall, but in reply, Astro and Link go down as well. Shiki and Whisk finding those kills, so it's just Fry. Is it Fry or Frey? Because
Fry,
it is Fry. Yeah, because a lot of people questioned it when I said Frey last time, or Fry, I can't remember. I just wanted to get it out early, just to make sure I knew. So we'll go with Fry.
Fry's the one I always hear.
He's got a nice new picture. Is that actually him in the picture, do we think?
No.
No, I don't think so.
No, I'm not sure who that is.
Maybe a tribute to a friend or something, but he is
the friend.
The lone survivor going into a 1v2.
This is a good save if he needs to get this. Because he's already got head armor. He even keeps a flash as well. He can drop the CZ to someone else. Pretty much best case scenario is 1v3 at the end of the day anyway.
And the last thing Wind and Rain want to do is underestimate KiNgs here. They don't want to look at the stats of KiNgs and be like, oh, they're not even a team, we should be able to take these down comfortably, and then fall into just a trap of playing badly and overcompensating and overcommitting, should I say, to rounds. But yeah, saving back the Galil at least is something from that round for Wind and Rain, but I imagine they might slightly buy around it here.
It could, well, it's one of those things, they should have seen that there was about 3 Mac 10s that last round and then thought, it's not really worth trying to force back, because either they'll reinvest the Mac 10s knowing we're not going to buy, or they'll get more rifles. So they've gone for 3 Mac 10s again because they know no armor. Even if they did get armor, you'd be spending actually 350 on the head armor just to make sure the Mac 10s aren't used as well. It's the same way that KiNgs are playing this banana approach. They triple naded the corner, they did it last round, but they got the kill, and they instantly ran away. This time they've not got the kill, so they're slowly coming up, and they'll probably just execute on the site.
The 4 men are stacking on B, just the one over at A. Yeah.
That's the thing. Normally you put the gun on the other side and let him fend alone on his, make his own play. The pop flash over was weak.
Really aggressive work from Astro. He does get taken down straight away.
They should see the gun and not go in, but they're still moving.
They're challenging him, but eventually Fry falls, and now it's just going to be Cray, who was on that A site. Now he's rotating around as quick as possible to see if he can find these last 2. I imagine he will go for it. There'll be no reason not to, but he's probably going to be greeted by a headshot.
Yeah, I doubt he checks the site right.
Hello. Yeah. Easy peasy 3-0.
Either way, solid eco rounds from Wind and Rain. 3 players down each time. It means that the money on the KiNg side is kind of in regions where they could get reset. It's easily an extra 2, maybe 3 acres if they do reset them. It's just, surprising to lose that many people against no force buy in the third, especially.
And now all the M4s come through from Wind and Rain, as expected, just buying up here. 1 AWP on the side of KiNgs.
Yeah, Shane picking up the AWP early.
Is that a risky move, or do you think it's worth it?
He's always been traditionally powered as an actual AWPer, but he's really good with the rifle, which is why it's surprising to see him go straight into it. Especially as I think he had 5750 spent on the AWP and head armor, no nades, and he's leading into gaps with it.
Very aggressive.
This is very confident.
Basically using the AWP as a shotgun at this point.
Yeah, it's a very confident play for them, but it's still doing the stereotypically Shiki's always had this mentality of that they'd always go 4 and 1. So on the radar you can see quite clearly there are 4 players stacked together and 1. And it's going to be an apps burst though, he's about to flash them out.
And any noise might see Fry rotate round.
Wind and Rain though. 2 site and 1 pit, they shouldn't be able to get this done.
No, just jumping out of the apps, probably into a ton of bullets, but Lumji does find one onto Link. Cray should be able to take this one, but he doesn't. Lumji's managed to get 2 really big kills, and Shaney finally putting that AWP to work.
Oh, on Astro.
Astro still is on site. And unfortunately does fall. So now it is just that Fry rotating round from B. And now it's the 1 versus 1 here, and it's going to be the AWP from Shaney trying to win this one, trying to clutch it out. He does. Decent work from Shaney. They go 4-0 up.
They're very lucky based on how, like, Wind and Rain had the players there and everything, but they were positioned horribly. Like, there was one player actually facing the balcony drop, the other guy was on site. Who knows what he was actually looking at. But the guy's like, got the kill, and then he tried fighting even further. He should have pulled back, let them go further into the aim, let them get hit by all the angles. But alas, they didn't, and ultimately lose the round.
2 big frags from Lumji there in that one as well.
Definitely.
Being able to get the angle on the guy hiding in pit.
And it's quite good as well, the AWP paid off. 2
Yeah.
kills, and obviously he kept his armor and the AWP.
Now we've just back to the same scenario of CZ's hoping that they might be able to get around, but they're probably expecting to go 5 down here, which wouldn't have been where they would probably imagine themselves before the series. So this has started out really nicely for Kings. Maybe the Dreamer Finals is within grasp after all.
Definitely, it's just a very peculiar one from them, really. It's just, like, they're playing the eco setup at mid, but at Banana they've for some reason faced get info, which wasn't really needed. Kings are loving the apps burst right now. Like, they did it on Pistol, they did it on the first buy round. They must have seen something in a previous game where Wind and Rain don't play towards pit or apps or anything like that.
2 important kills from Cray though. He does find himself an AWP as well.
If he really wanted to. Ooh. So ideally they managed to get both of those guns that were there and save them. But I feel like Cray wants to make the play.
Yeah, he wants to try and win this round. This is what I was on about overconfidence as well. No, okay, he is going to run, it looks.
Yeah.
So he makes the right decision. I think if he had found maybe one, if someone had pushed him aggressively mid into his AWP and he'd found the shot, then maybe worth going with the 2v2, but...
Yeah, end of the day, he saved 5 grand's worth there, and then Dancy's got the AK too.
Yep.
So what is interesting from Wind and Rain, though, they have a lot of people who can actually pick up the AWP. So Dancy's is who you'd probably put as the dedicated AWPer in this team. However, when Fry was with Infused, he'd pick it up a lot. When Astro was with CEX, he would pick it up a lot. So you've got 3 players who used to be primary AWPers, all now on the same team. So there's a chance we might see a double AWP come out. Because they save one, they could potentially buy another one if they really feel like they need it. But there's been no read for them to do that.
And double AWP can work in some teams, right?
Yeah,
You just need the right players to be able to actually manage it. Because it's not just the AWPers that need to be performing with it. The players around the AWPs as well need to be in the right position.
It's the movement of it all as well. Being in the right place at the right time when you know exactly what your AWPer's doing, which if you're on a team with really good chemistry, you should know where your teammates are without them telling you a lot of the time. No double AWP though. Like, there wasn't a read for them to do it or anything thus far.
Just a UMP for Charles as well.
Yeah, he's just kept that from the last round.
Yep.
All head hammer and Wind and Rain there, so he might have issues if he does end up fighting that.
Real aggression from Shaney once again on Banana here. Is anyone going to face?
The second molly comes up, but it's missed.
Oh, that grenade might tag him though.
Why jump spot again?
Fry. Fry both times, and now the aggression is going to come out from the terrorists as they're going to continue to push. And Dancy's is just being blinded constantly. Can't get a no-scope. He falls to that UMP. And now they should have control of this B site.
Some really questionable plays, really. So they did the regular bottom banana smoke. The first molly came in close. Normally you put both the far molly, which gets to the tree, and then the second one, which gets up to that close wall, then you've got control. They put the close one in. The second one went into the smoke, missed. He jump spotted, clearly saw Shaney. Did it again, which, you know, technically you could say overconfidence.
Yep.
It could be just sheer stupidity, just from the fact that he's just like, oh, I'll do it again.
It's maybe he's all right. If it wasn't the previous round that he'd already died to the exact same position, then yeah, okay, why not? You can say, oh, I don't believe he's going to hit the shot. But going for it 2 rounds in a row is quite questionable. Shiki does get spotted by Astro.
It's really bizarre. I thought there'd be more of a hunt on this round ending, especially with 5 alive from the T side.
No, it looks like 3 players are just going to survive.
They're just going to keep their economy strong on the T side too.
But I mean, keeping the economy strong isn't really going to do much when you're 6-0 down at this point. We need to see something different from Wind and Rain. Really struggling to keep these terrorists out.
They fought to hold that top of banana bit. Obviously, it was a heck of a shot from Shaney. Like, there's no doubt about that. It's just, you don't want to give him the opportunity to land that in the first place.
Yep.
Like, there's no reason to do it. They do have the AWP back up again. So I'd see if it's something different. They died at top banana 2 rounds in a row, even though one of them was an eco. And they're coming straight back to top banana. Okay, they're holding a bit more defensive. I thought it was just going to be pure insanity.
I mean, sometimes you can just see like sheer stubbornness from players where they're like, no, I'm going to keep doing it until I manage to get the kill. But thankfully, Fry is not one of those players, and he will back off this time.
It's triple quad setup from Wind and Rain. So we saw a lot of early apps pressure from Kings, and it doesn't look like Wind and Rain have quite clicked onto that. But it doesn't look like Kings are doing anything this round anyway. They might be able to see that this triple quad setup's being used anyway. This isn't the normal way you set it up either. You usually have one guy on top of the porch.
Yeah, maybe they were a bit worried about maybe an aggressive push through middle, so they didn't have time to boost on top of porch, but...
Potentially. They've used up all 3 smokes on the site, though.
All smokes are gone, and if Kings are counting, they should know as well.
Yeah, by 40 seconds, there's no smokes left. But Shiki's getting ready to pop flash him through that. Unless he's faking top banana control. Yeah, he's taking top banana control. And the CTs will be wary about that, which means they've fallen off that triple quad setup. So they've timed that really well on the CT side. Like, they used all 3 smokes. They know we can't hold this now. We don't have any smokes. It's not worth trying to risk it. But it's essentially, they're leaving Arch completely open.
Time is ticking away. 34 seconds left, and as you were saying, that Wind and Rain have played a lot of Inferno as well.
It's the 4-1 from Kings as well. Cheeky the other side of the map.
Cope with it, but now we are going to see the push from Kings. Can they spot out these 2 players and pit grenades come through? Cray can't get the spray down. He falls to Whisk, but Link's going to manage to find one. Finds 2. Lumji doesn't get it. That's really good work from Astro and Link there. The nice cross.
Yeah, they had the crossfire set up and everything. It's just usually you'd see the trade, and ideally it's not the AWPer running in to get the trade.
But this is the round we needed to see from Wind and Rain. They put 1 back on the board. Maybe King's just leaving that a little bit too late. Maybe panicking ever so slightly towards the end of the round, going for a late execute. It always makes you a little bit more flustered when you're pushing in. It was a nice entry as well. Yeah,
they got the entry that was needed. It's just, it looked like he got into the site, got the kill, but then there was a clear gap between him and the second person. Like, he got onto the site, got shot, and then there was no instant fire back, essentially.
And a technical pause coming out as well. So one of the players having difficulties. Either that, Kings are just like, wait, hold on, we lost a round. So something must be wrong here.
Let me just throw my mouse at the wall.
Yeah, let's break something. Something's gone wrong. Guys, stop. But a really good start from Kings. I mean, overall.
Yeah, 6-1.
That's decent, right? I mean, I know this
more rounds than they had against the regular season.
I know this can flip on its head so quickly. Like, Wind and Rain now can take the momentum from this round quite comfortably and could win 16-6 for all we know. But I have seen promise from Kings, and that whole setup that you've been talking about, the 4-1, I mean, it's been working out. There's been a little answer from Wind and Rain until that round.
The issue that it's you can identify the 4-1 really, really clearly. As soon as you realise somebody keeps doing a fake at the other site whenever they execute, you can kind of be like, okay, so we're hearing grenades thrown at this site with 45 seconds left, but it's only, you know, a single flash comes over, then a smoke, and it's clear it's only one guy. You tempt the risk. Do you send a guy to the other site? It's a mind game.
See, and that's the thing. It's you then think about that situation. You say, but what if this is the one time that they send 2 or 3 or 4? What if this is the double fake of the fake? What if they know that we know that they know that we know that they know that we know it's a fake?
Yeah, and then that's the whole mind game. Then if you do lose the round because of that, you're tilted.
Yeah,
because you're like, but it's so simple. They keep doing the same thing, but they keep winning. So there's always issues with like trying to think what your enemy's doing.
And now, that last round could have gone so differently for Kings as well. There wasn't the trade, as you said, into pit. And if they were able to find one, then maybe they would have been able to turn around and face the other cross more aggressively.
The other cross he shouldn't have had the chance.
And then they could have potentially been 7-0 up. But sometimes you need that from your players. You need to clutch those moments. So who was it in pit? Was it Fry, potentially?
Link and Astro.
Link and Astro. And you need those players to actually step up. That'll give them a bit of confidence as well. Now they'll feel like their shot has warmed up a bit more as we dive back in, and it is going into the 8th round. And we've still got plenty of money on the side of Kings.
It's not as much as I thought it'd be, though. Like, the highest money there after buying up was 2,600.
And I feel that's because of the kills that Wind and Rain have got in their
they've had quite a few of them like, earlier on. They did a one round where they had 5 alive. It's just, it's not actually done much benefit. Like, Trials has only got AK armor. Like, no nades whatsoever.
Yeah, and he has to dive out as well as he was caught in the fire.
So the molly's being used a lot better here. The 3-man setup on Banana. Dancy's very patient with that.
Yeah, he was like, worried about...
I don't want to kill Fry.
Yeah. Fry also almost got a bullet through the back of the head. And you know he would have been tempted to do it as well. But much better from Wind and Rain, using their grenades so effectively on Banana. And now Lumji and Whisk, just the 2 remaining. And I'd imagine Wind and Rain might go for a little bit of a hunt if they get any sort of whiff of where these players might be.
It wouldn't be very wise for them to do it, I don't think, based on just CT economy. Like, they're in reset territory right now. where it's like if you lose one, you might just be straight back on pistols again.
Yeah, that is very true.
It's a very awkward situation to be in.
But I would
But that's
imagine
the same for Kings right now as well.
these players from B are going to rotate round. Yep. Oh. Yeah. Those two fall.
Yeah, it's very difficult coming onto that site, especially when you're undermanned like that. But money on Kings, very, very weak. Potentially see some pistol armor. Look how patient this.
I mean, that is so trusting in Fry as well to find those kills.
Just make sure you killed them. But the main thing there was, it was a 3-man on Banana. So the guy, I think it was Astro, who put in the smoke for them. He then flashed over the wall because he was like, you guys keep losing the top Banana control. I'll come over and help you guys take it. You guys do the kill, I'll flash you guys in.
Oh, aggression
And
from
confidence is
Shiki,
back.
but Dancy's is now hitting these shots, and Shaney's going to continue the push, but Fry takes him down comfortably. And the rest are going to be pushing through apps. So not the 4-1 this time, it's the 3-2, but Link should be able to easily, comfortably pull these boys off of balcony.
Actually get a kill, surprisingly.
Yeah, Lumji just drops out of that onto Astro.
Yeah, look at the economy on the Wind and Rain side. Building, building, building.
This is the confidence we needed now from Wind and Rain. Trials 0 and 2 at the moment.
That's an interesting scoreline.
Yeah.
Round 10.
After
0-0-2.
yeah, that is a bit bizarre.
Yeah. See the death count that low as well as...
Is that like a reconnect thing or something like that, or?
I don't think so.
I know there was a technical pause, but
Well, actually, it has to be, doesn't it? Because one of the rounds, everybody died. Yeah.
yeah,
Must
so
be reconnect.
that makes sense.
Yeah. I was going to say it was way too bizarre. No way has he managed to get himself in the wrong location for all of
Every
the
single
contact.
time. Shiki's just gonna
Triple quadceps back, because obviously they didn't get seen doing it, so they can potentially risk being in that same location again. But how quickly are they going to use up all their smokes?
And now Dancy's got an aggressive line on Banana here as well. Shaney does face it, but gets a bullet through the brain.
It's key that he kind of makes sure he does hold near the top still. So because of that, Fry's moved over to Arch side, and they still got the triple quad. There's no smokes left on the CT side there, and there's a minute left.
And how frustrating is that as well for a team when your AWPer is just getting out-AWPed round after round?
It does make things very awkward when you've got, like, you know, for example, on the map right now, you can see it's 4-1 for CTs. And the only way you regain Banana control is by doing, well, obviously Shane, you try getting the pick on him. If you got the pick, different story entirely. But
there's two sides to the coin, right?
Yeah.
Of course, the positives of your AWPer then winning the AWP battle is...
it's a risk you take as an AWPer as well. Like, if you win the fight, then fantastic, you're a hero.
Lumji did pop out of balcony there, but he wasn't able to take down anyone because Cray was just waiting for him. Very patient in pit there. As Shiki now with his AWP is going to see what he can do. Does find one onto Cray through the wall. Can't find the second though. Link takes him down. 6-4. Wind and Rain starting to put rounds on the board now. Starting to look more like the Wind and Rain we expected.
Yeah. They've got a heck of an economy built up as well. Like, it's crazy. The CT, like, all the rounds they've won have been pretty clean, whereas Kings, the rounds they won were quite scrappy. Like, I can easily see an 8-7 in favour of Wind and Rain on this half. Like, Kings will probably pick one back, but it just won't be enough, like, on this half. Like, in the current the meta right now, people would say that Inferno is more towards the T side. So ideally, you're looking at 9, 8-7 rounds.
Yep.
Kings had the 6 to start with. And it looks like it's all falling apart. Is this another abs burst? But Shiki's got the bomb. So that makes it a bit interesting.
Gone for something a little bit different. Maybe just looking for a plant, maybe just to get some money here. Not expecting to win the round.
Unless he comes up mid-late with them, it's just... I'm not too sure how... Like, you need... If you're bursting apps, you need them to get the kill. Otherwise, they're not going to buy in your fake.
But this is going to be a field day for Cray. This was I always used to play pit, and this was my favourite scenario when there would be an apps burst, and you would just wait on balcony. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Looks like they're going to be doing something completely different. They're perfectly lined up on the radar for Boiler.
I mean, either they're going to have some party festivities here.
They are wasting a lot of grenades, though, from the Wind and Rain side. Like, they're having to use all their smokes. Some mollies we used earlier on in the round. So, in terms of economic damage, they're taking a few hundred off them. And Cheeky's managed to get top Banana control.
And left the bomb as well.
Yeah.
So he's got the information.
He's hoping that they were at the top and they heard him, and he can throw... What's he going to go for? A molly? That's the... Nope.
Just a little bit.
Not sure.
Doesn't really know. He's going to have a little cycle through the grenades.
Yep.
This Cray is still going to...
He's very unsure.
Cray's still waiting for any sort of response as the conga line is still very formed.
20 seconds. They're hoping that they bite on that bullet, just the one smoke.
We're going to do the conga.
This is possible. If they had another smoke, this would have been a lot smoother.
2, 3, easy.
And 4.
Yep.
If they had one more flash over that building, because you saw he got partially blind, but the players weren't even up yet. One more flash and that round probably changes.
That was so similar to any Conga I've seen at a New Year's Eve party as well. They all start it and then they all fall straight away.
No dedicated followers. And suddenly we're nearly back at 6-6.
Yeah, it's a really decent turnaround from Wind and Rain, and that's what we said. They said all they needed was to find that one round just to kind of get rid of this momentum from Kings, get the confidence away. I mean, Shaney with his AWP has been out-AWPed round after round now by Dancy's, ever since Dancy has actually found a little bit of momentum himself.
He actually got the tag. Yeah, you hate to see that when you know you've got the X-ray on, you're just like, please, he got to shoot. It's devastating to be hit by it as well. So you can see, you can feel like Kings are a bit more lost now. It's a bit more of a split around, split and pick mentality. Obviously, earlier on when they were winning rounds, you could see there was a clear group section and then somebody else doing something under the map, and then they would execute. Now it seems to be a lot more, what do you want to do this round? And then they're just splitting around. It's
because you start asking questions about yourself and how the strategy is actually working out. You kind of run out of ideas. That's the main thing I see from teams that aren't necessarily practiced, is they do just have 2 or 3 set ideas, and then once they go out of the window, they are completely gone. But they are going to burst out onto A here. Maybe a wrap around?
Yeah, it's a 2v5 on this site. They need to get at least 2 kills just from these 2 A players.
Flash comes in, Cray's blinded.
Link's got a really good position right now.
Yeah, he's going to be able to get behind them. Cray falls to trial, so a decent shot there from him. As Link's now going to look for a second onto Graveyard. Whisk does fall, but he takes a nice trade from Lumgy.
Typically this is a save. But they've all got like 12,000.
Yeah, they've got so much money to work with that Astro should confidently push in with the teammates behind him.
If you're constantly getting smoked out the entrances here, you hold with the exits, because you know the King's economy is really, really weak. And that way you can potentially keep your guns too. Like Dancy's right now, he's got full nades. He can potentially smoke up one of the entrances as well and just hold it.
If Dancy's can find a pick here, no he can't, he gets blinded as well. Time is running out.
Yeah, he's going to put the molly in the corner with about 5 seconds after the bomb because you can save in that corner. And Astro's doing the same.
Just to try and ruin the economy as much as possible.
They have to exit archery, but they had nobody holding it. So that kind of wasn't too well thought through.
No, they lost a man as well, but I guess with the amount of money they have,
the money doesn't matter too much. 3 rounds left. You could argue that they've got a buy for every round, pretty much regardless.
But Kings get their 7th on the board. You were saying they'd be happy with 9, so they're edging their way ever closer.
And that round was a very bizarre one. There was 3 players on B. I think they were boosting CT.
And I was convinced there was going to be a wraparound to B. I thought it was going to play perfectly into Wind and Rain's hands there, but...
We're back with the 3 at B again, though, this from the start of the round. So Astro does the smoke that lands at the bottom, which we'll be seeing going over Shiki's head. And then ideally they molly the tree, they molly close. But with that smoke close, they're not able to do this setup they want to do. Unless they go through the smoke, which would be chaotic. Oh god.
Very brave position as they do go through the smoke, and chaotic it is as Fry falls once again. Just that over-aggression.
Ooh, he got 2 of them hit through that wall. He hit Shiki and Trials in the same bullet through the wall. So you can admire the bravery. Yeah, going through the smoke. It dedicates to the cause. Like your IGL says, do it. You've done it.
Yeah, you can't.
It's his fault.
They can't own it you afterwards. You say, well, you told me to. But Dancy's now just going to hold this angle.
They've got 3 players here.
1. Oh, he misses the first shot. Now he needs help from Astro here. Decent angle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Only gets to the 3. Lumgy finally gets him.
50 seconds got bombs down.
Only 12 HP on Lumgy as well. Decent work from Dancy's. Nice round from Wind and Rain.
Astro destroyed the conga.
Once again, there's always that one person that ruins a conga. He's that one who sat in the corner tutting. That's what he is. Saying, conga again. We're back in the 1960s. There's more exciting dance moves now. We can do the cha-cha slide, guys.
Do you love a good cha-cha slide?
Yeah, cha-cha slide is one of my
I remember doing that back in like 2007 on CSS on a slide race. So somebody's playing it over mic in game. Fantastic.
Love that.
In fact, it was with Max from Endpoint.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Max is a bit of a character, isn't he?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Shady's been finally taken down by Dancies. Yep.
And I'll be back to the mid, smoke one side, and then hopefully get a kill. But I mean, they're just facing everything right now. The confidence is back for Wind and Rain.
What is a Dancy?
His name is Zaki Dance.
Oh, okay.
So Dancies.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I was like, there's a dance. And like, what's a Dancy?
Yeah.
7-7. Wind and Rain have done really well to claw this one back after going 6-0 down.
Yeah, so we're looking at 7-7, and I said I could easily see it being 8-7 to win Rain. And it's one of those things where you take a heavy lead on T side usually, like 6-0, and chances are you'll probably end the half with just one more round because they've adapted / they've gotten to grips with the game. They might have just started slow, that sort of thing. Is this just going to be a fast banana rush? Oh god, it is.
I love your panic. Oh god. The same scenario when they push through smoke, which they're going to have to do now as well. But Shaney does get the first on the dances. Whisk falls.
Nobody smoking CT.
Nope. Trials is so aggressive, but it's so easy for Astro when there is no smoke there.
He only gets the one, which is quite lucky really for Kings in that situation.
Yeah, it's a 2-for-2 trade. Cray is now going to sneak up behind them on Banana. Bomb does go down, but they need to try and win this round. I think Kings would be happy with an 8-7 victory in the first half. Yeah.
The question is, how many of his grenades is Link going to use? So he's lining up a retake smoke right there. That'll smoke off Banana. He's got one flash and a molly. Flash goes in. Is he going to molly anything? No.
Flashes himself? Or was that counter flash?
He's mollied pool, but that's his way into the site, pretty much.
1v2 then. Link is going to push in here, but unfortunately we'll go down to Shaney. So an 8-7 lead then for Kings. Maybe a closer game than we were expecting during our pre-ramble, Ezio. But it's good to see. I'm glad that it is a competitive match because I was a bit concerned that it would be... it's not.
I mean, all the stats were saying it would just be a one-sided affair. Yeah. And so far it's not then. Like, 6-0, we're seeing the complete opposite. And 8-7, it leaves things to be, questioned. Have Wind and Rain got a really good T side? Have they been practicing on the T side? Have they got what it takes to actually get 9 rounds on that T side? They need the pistol, I feel. If Kings at the pistol, you're starting to think, it goes to what, 11-7. You're thinking, by a round suddenly gone 12-7, it's running away from you.
Do you see that plant pot then, by the way? It like busted across down the road, and now it's just set up. It's gone.
It's disappeared.
Goodness sake. Try and make a comment about something, it just disappears. It's awful. But yeah, I've been impressed with Kings. They kind of fell apart, and I think I can go back to the point of when a team I don't feel is well practiced, they kind of run out of ideas, but at least they were able to get 2 more on the board after losing that initial, well, what was it, 6 in a row after going 6-0 up? Did it go back to 6-6? Or I think it was like 6-5.
Yeah. No, they lost 7 in a row and then got the...
And then they got the 2 back.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that shows a lot to me about a team. To be able to actually do that.
It gives you a revival coming to the half, though. That's the big thing, because obviously you've lost all those rounds around, and then you kind of feel, all right, we're back in this. Like, we can get this back. Ooh, 2 CZs on the CT side. CZ smoke on both of them. Where are they going? Are they both towards A? Okay, so assume double apps set up from them. I feel like that's the only place you're going to be able to use those guns. Is it boiler and then, yeah, okay. So if they do go towards apps, you'd like to assume that the CZs deal with them.
Okay. You need to...
3 mounts at B.
CZs are very powerful, of course, but...
Pistol run's a different beast, though. Yeah. Because obviously there's no Kevlar, you've got aim punch, and Glocks overwhelm you quite quickly.
And of course this round is huge as it always is. Second pistol, especially it would be massive for Kings if they could win both pistol rounds in this game. Are you just trying to edge into B, see if he can get an eye on anyone, but he needs to be careful.
That was the same peak, I think. So I'm assuming Shaney's seen one guy doing that over and over again.
And you need to be
6 HP.
So careful peeking at USP as well, but Shaney wasn't able to find that one dance. He's just traded off by Lumgy there.
So the app setup, they do get the trade for it, and they get to use one of the smokes. In theory, Lumgy could go back into apps and get the smoke off Shiki's body. If he really wanted to actually try and utilize as much utility as possible. Astro's about to smoke off mini pit, and then I assume they're just going to wait for the smoke.
Lumgy can do some real damage here with this CZ.
The flash hasn't got around fully. He hears them all going out.
Can communicate that with the team, finds one, Cray goes down.
That's good.
We need to see something special now.
Thing is, they've got 2 players on B still. Shaney gets 1 here, he's done his job.
Astro just jumping in there. As now it's all down to Trials. Lumgy needs to join him as quick as possible, but Trials knows he has to face, and Fry gets the first. Lumgy in a 1 versus 2. Now, if I could trust anyone on Kings, it would probably be Lumgy, but he only has the CZ.
He still has a smoke, though. Obviously, there's no kit in play for the CT side here, but the smoke makes it a bit difficult. Like, the T side are playing it correctly. They've gone for the full stick together, all 2 of you on him if he peeks us. But the smoke makes it really questionable. Okay, so he's 1. Cleared out the back, he should probably end up smoking the bomb. And honestly, he might as well stick it.
10 seconds. probably going to see
They
Wind and
should
Rain.
know but they have to stab him.
They just got to throw in a knife, and they're trying as well. They're waving their knives everywhere they can, but they don't find it. As Lumji pulls it off. That's such an awful position to be in as well.
Yeah, with the X-ray on and everything, you just see the guy just stabbing and not...
And I mean, in a real-life situation, you'd probably feel the air whisking by your hips as well, and you'd be breathing in and hope that no one hits you. Although, in a real situation, you'd probably choke on the smoke as well. So
yeah. I remember we messed around with some of those with a paintball VT, and being near that smoke was
not
awful.
fun. No.
Really bad.
I suppose the CTs do have gas masks.
Well, that's true. That's true. Although it depends on which model you got given.
Yeah,
some of them don't.
That's life. Sometimes you get a gas mask, sometimes you don't.
It's just RNG again.
There's Wind and Rain now, falling in another pistol.
They haven't forced back in because they can get the third round buy round in because that plan.
Yeah.
So if anything they get here, Fry's got Kevlar, which to me is a bit questionable. Like he spent 950 this round, seemingly for no reason, in my mind at least. So he's going for the pick and everything. It's just realistically that's not going to happen.
Now, I know we're relatively shocked at how close this is. Do you think that Wind and Rain are probably quite surprised at how quickly Kings have come out into this game?
I think they'll be annoyed that they went down 6-0 so quickly.
Yeah.
Like some of the rounds were, there was some daft mistakes at Banana from the CTs. Like I mentioned, Fry getting jump spotted. Like there was the grenades being used wrong. There was a few things that they'll look back and they'll be like, oh, that was stupid. We shouldn't have lost that round. Should have done that.
But only I had a gas mask.
Yeah, or like a bigger knife, a massive machete. That would have done quite well. But ultimately, they know these players are good enough to match them just in a straight fight. But they should be doing better as a team. They didn't pick up Shaney's gun though, despite I think it was because where he died. What was Shiki looking at?
Astro does find one though.
Oh my god.
Somehow manages to take down two, and they're probably going to get a bomb plant here because the rest of the members of Kings are still rotating round. That shouldn't have happened, really.
There's no kit either. So, the molly's already through.
Can Astro do more damage? No, he can't. It falls to Trials.
Dancy's nearly killed him. 1 HP and 2 HP.
Wow, so close.
I mean, overall, you've not bought, or Fry bought a piece of 50 in Kevlar, and you've taken down 3 of them, got a plant. Should never happen, obviously.
No, really, really nice round.
And we're leaking the first round where Kings have got, shoddy economy, really. It's worse than Wind and Rain's, really. Like, Wind and Rain have got the full grenades on every single player. No AWP, but that's kind of regular, I feel. First round AWP is very risky.
And now this is where I think Wind and Rain are probably going to be quite scary. I would expect them to have a lot more up their sleeve when it comes to actually having the full AKs and AWPs if they want to buy them, all the grenades, you've got your executes. Yeah. We know Wind and Rain are more of a practice team. We've seen that through Mountain Dew League, etc.
Yeah, the big thing I haven't mentioned so Neil Zinho is actually the coach of Wind and Rain. So he used to be the IGL of FM quite a bit, and he'll bring a lot of experience to the ball. Like this lineup, I said, they're not exactly experienced or anything. Like they're not as experienced as you would like to see, obviously, in the big lineup like this. But they've got the power for it.
Oh, Trials finds 1, 2, 3. Can't get the fourth on the dances. Just run out of bullets.
Star play. Ooh.
And he takes down Dancy, so it's just Link.
Did Dancy have a smoke then? Was he just taking that fight just because it might, catch them off guard? He's got the grenades to potentially win this. If he smokes off Banana and then, straight, depends what he does straight off the plant.
And he gets shot in the back of the head. What he does is die. And Kings get a really... If you consider they had, what, Famuses throughout that round?
4 Famuses and M4.
I mean, that's a massive round there.
Yeah, the M4 was on Trials.
Yeah.
So that's worked beautifully. He saved the round, essentially. Like, I can't remember who it was at CT, but he just peeked in, Astro killed him, and then you're thinking, well, the site's going to be taken now. But Trials just wipes them out.
And yeah, it was interesting. Dancy's just taking that fight. Once you've seen 3 of your members fall, 3 of your teammates, you're like, oh, I've got to kill him now. Yeah,
it's just Trials if you're looking at the game from a pure improvement basis, you're thinking Trials kill 3. Technically, you should fall back because you've done your job.
And your ammo's low.
Yeah, you're just trying to fight him with the what was it, P250 USP.
Yep.
But adrenaline plays a big factor in these games. You're just like 3 people. I want the highlight reel. Let's go straight in.
It looks like the pause has come out, and there's a little chicken hiding there.
Wind and Rain probably pistol armor, I imagine, because there's not enough to really buy. And considering that was the first buy round, it was a bit of a... It wasn't really an orchestrated like execute or like a tactic or anything like that. It was... Astro got himself in front of a smoke, so he just said, follow me when I get this kill or when I get contact. It could have gone very different. Obviously, Trials got that 3k, which, you know, as we said, it was really good play and everything.
But in theory, shouldn't have... Ah! What's happened here?
So the question is, where on the map is that?
Okay. That is in Ruins.
Yeah, I think it's in the corner next to the sandbags, I want to say, or it's in the scaffolding bit.
So this is Sheila and Debbie.
Giving them names.
Yeah, I know them well.
I prefer Kentucky and Fried.
Yeah, I try not to feed them too much. For that reason exactly, I know that you're just an evil man who eats them.
Just love chicken.
Yeah, I don't blame you. But after the short pause, we get back into it. 11-7 to Kings. Would be a pretty big upset if they were able to take this first map.
Heck of a lot of grenade damage put down right at the start of the round. I think Dancy's headbutted that grenade. 85 damage.
Just took it on, tried to headbutt back.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Great, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Turn it into Rocket League.
That's what. That's the next idea for Fortnite. There, being able to headbutt grenades.
Yeah, or kick them. Alternative option. Dancy's a bit heat. They're just throwing grenades straight at him.
Oh wait, this was Wind and Rain's map choice, right?
Yeah, which makes it.
That would be. I mean, it would be disastrous for them if it weren't for the fact we're going to Mirage and we know how good Wind and Rain are on Mirage anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't even need to factor like the whole how good they are at the map. It's they've played it so many times as well. You wouldn't consider it that much of a favouring situation for the other team. Ooh, cheeky boost.
And it is just a bit of a case of going through the motions in this round for Kings, really.
Yeah, just let the round play out. They need to force the situation.
You know that Wind and Rain are going to be pushing aggressively this round. They're going to be trying to find kills wherever they can. You've just got to make sure you find them. Yeah. Decent work. 4 rounds away from taking this first map. But it was about this time in the first half when Wind and Rain turned it around.
Yeah, we had one more buy round, I think, out of the T side. So if this buy round goes south for Wind and Rain, I'd expect a tactical again. Maybe it's kind of... They might end up... So it depends what they do this round. So if it's like a really slow, methodical round... They forgot the bomb. That's not ideal.
That's all right. Send Cray back.
Cray had to go all the way back. So we're not seeing something fast based on that. If it's a very slow, methodical round, they might be doing a bit more of their default, trying to work out how exactly their king is playing it. And right now it looks like they're playing heavy mid. They did this last round too. They weren't really playing in-apps, which honestly is a death wish for the most part if you do play in-apps.
So, you know, it does always surprise me when I see an actual team leave the bomb behind. Because you see it in matchmaking, you see it in pugs, because no one really wants the bomb.
No.
But you'd expect a team to have their designated bomb carriers in most scenarios.
Or at least leave it in... T-State isn't too bad.
Well, it's all right now, but I mean, at the start of the round.
At the start of the round, in T-Spawn's a bit...
You know Cray was huffing and puffing when he had to go back and get it. That was totally me when I used to play. Guys can go get the bomb.
It depends who noticed the bomb was left there. Because whoever did it is clearly at the front. He's like, I'm not going back. This is your bomb to get. The bomb's down, by the way, guys.
I got it last time.
It does look heavily favoured with Banana right now. What are the grenades left on this side? Molly and a flash. Whisk has nothing. Ideally, Whisk would be the one up there, considering he has no grenades.
But I guess Trials has got a decent shot on him at the moment. He's finding good kills, so any advantageous position he can be put in is, speaking of advantageous, Link.
They've held up mid for way too long in this round, I feel. Like, Shaney's got all of his grenades, but they've identified that that's...
Well, this is a really aggressive... it turns at the wrong time. Counter-Strike in a nutshell right there, ladies and gentlemen.
2v4. Should be a save. Assuming they don't get a kill first 10 seconds, but they should know. It's quite deep control from them. Yeah. So that was the first round that they've actually, played out at least a minute into it, and they decided to fake.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, it's pretty crazy to think about, really. Your CT side, you're like, it's the first time they've actually done anything. They've actually faked it the first time. Jeez, like, what? Like, why are they doing that? Worked out perfectly. Link got that first entry in Lumgy, which it looked like Lumgy kind of wasn't expecting the boiler peak, but he was expecting the mid peak, essentially.
Money there for Kings.
Yeah, they've got
still
the 3 players who are dead who've got full buy in them.
Yep.
And obviously the ones who saved will get all their grenades back. But it does mean lose the next one, they are fully reset.
Just the 4 rounds in favour of Kings before Wind and Rain put one back on the board this time. And as you said, Terrorist side usually the favourite on Inferno.
Yeah.
I say usually because it's very hard sometimes to compare like the best Counter-Strike teams.
Yeah, you've got the top level, which
Yeah.
usually would be CT side favoured, but in situation like what I used to say Inferno was, it's very much an underdog map because of the narrow gaps. You can easily smoke people out and then annoy your opponents because they'll be like, they just keep smoking everything, and we have to get down to 40 seconds, and then we don't win the aim fight when we're going in, and that's the round. So the situation we're in right now is not too surprising if you want to put it in that, you know, if you want to go with that scenario. Just all dependent really on how much map control is given up. Is Shaney facing down mid on that angle? From that's an interesting off angle. Okay, so he's instantly falling back off that smoke. But there was around last round he was in that smoke pretty much, just facing there, full confidence.
Fires managed to jump through.
What was
find Whisk? I think Whisk jumped through the smoke potentially.
Yeah, I think he got flashed through.
Trials falls back. That's how grenades to work with.
Hasn't done anything for him.
No, that's just made things worse. Unless he's planning on going through it and has some sort of...
Yeah, he's planning to go through it. Oh, if he made the jump, he probably got the kill on Dances, but...
Yeah, unfortunately, he gets spotted out by Crate.
Yeah, that's quite a clear sign of a adrenaline grenade.
Yes.
Just throw it. Like,
it's a panic situation, right? He was flashed. Yeah. He was like, they're probably
panicking,
chasing
they're
me.
Coming in. Yeah, he got flashed in the coil. He's reloading. He's like, oh crap, they're coming in. And they just throw it. And like, oh crap.
And
then you force the play to make yourself not look as much of a It's like, I was planning to make the play.
Yeah, because if he had got the kill, we'd be like, yeah, better do that, yeah.
Yeah, stop the plan.
They got the kill, yeah. Cheeky finds Link. Obviously,
save the AK.
Sheeny's trying to find them.
Sheeny 100% saves the AWP. It's just Cheeky should be okay. Unless it's like literally last milliseconds. I don't think he gets to him.
No, he's not going to get to him. 12-9 then. Wind and rain.
Ooh, question is, do you buy around it? Yes, you do. Alright.
Starting to churn some rounds together. Exactly what they needed. But the AWP's still on Shaney, of course. That's going to be the big factor in this round. And the force up from King's one Famas.
Only one molly, but they do have the 5 smokes. So Wind and Rain aren't doing anything different. They're doing the same default again.
Not messing around with any AWPs, just going 5 AKs. Yeah,
T-side AWPing is very difficult on this map, especially because of the smoke situation.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to have the same, like, you know, oh, your AWP is like, I'm going to go for a pick here. And then he's like, it's smoked. And then 15 seconds later, he goes somewhere else. It's smoked.
Yeah.
So it's not really worth that 5,000 investment, essentially.
Unless you're good at killing people through smokes.
In which case, you're a bit of a question.
Yeah, and then get out of the pressure.
And then a message pops up, has been banned.
I can just hear League Ops like sniffing around. Did you mention cheating on my broadcast?
Slow round again from Wind and Rain. They're playing it really methodical. There's only 2 smokes used up from Kings there. Depends how this last 20 seconds goes.
And this is where we're going to see the arsenal of Wind and Rain, what they've got to offer when it comes to their T-sided attacks. Executes.
So they are going to flash them out of apps, I imagine, or they're just going to burst. They're just bursting.
Oh, 1-2-4. Fryer has been on the receiving end of far too many of Shenny's headshots today. But now he goes down to dance season. It's a 3 versus 2. Bomb's going to be able to be planted. We're going to see 2 members now rotating around from B. Charles and Whisk, can they work together to actually retake here? They need to be well aware of it.
It's on a situation where you only get 2,400 next round, and the economy is dropping.
Yeah, but Whisk goes down, and so does Trials and Wind and Rain. They put their 10th on the board. Kings are starting to fall apart in the latter stages of the half, just as we saw last half.
Yeah, Shaney did everything he could have done.
Oh yeah,
he gets 2 kills with the AWP, but you know, Shiku's on site, missed all the spray. The first guy jumped out and he kind of got bamboozled by it a bit, and then missed the spray, and then I believe it was Lungy and Pit, and he couldn't really get anything done either. Ideally, you want at least a kill from your Pit player every single time, just because there's so many triangles that you can take advantage of, and he wasn't able to do it. It isn't ideal.
And Fryer will be hoping not to be greeted by a AWP bullet this round.
Opposite side of the wall this time.
Yeah.
It's quite a clear, different way of playing though from Wind and Rain. They know the economy is weak, so they're a bit more grouped, which I like to see. Obviously, you're against an eco, you want to be able to make sure you get the trade. Don't let them get a weapon, that kind of thing.
Whisk's going to get smoked off. Is he going to aggressively push through?
He'll wait for the second flash and then probably run through as they're coming in, just to cause chaos. But Astra is watching for that.
Yeah, you should have one player
right over that. However, he's not been killed very quickly.
Gray does take down Kyle as he was trying to fend off as best as he could from sight. Shaney's now going to push through a smoke of his own, but of course he's going to fall comfortably.
Yeah.
And it's just like clockwork now as the rest go down one by one.
Yeah, the kill feed shows a very clear, like, clean round and everything, but it was a bit chaotic at times. Like, there were situations where a lot of bullets coming back and forth, and ultimately they get the round done with. That's the main thing. 12-11, buy round for Kings. Lose this one, it's, I believe, 3,400 for the next round reset. Shaney on the AWP, so second time lucky.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, he did his job.
Yeah,
he just
it
needs
wasn't bad last time.
the players around him to also do theirs.
5 rifles working beautifully coming to rain as well.
Shaney is going to take an aggressive stance once again on Banana, but it's probably going to be smoked off here. And that's exactly what you were talking about the smoke grenades just really
they
being a
dictate this
frustrate.
game. They're going to go for a boost over it there, which is interesting to do. Ooh, there's smoke at the bottom there that they threw. So as far as he knows, there's a guy close wall or tree in that situation, which very bold. Because of that, the Whisk has moved off to the other side, and they're leaving Shaney at the top of Banana.
I feel like Lumji got some sort of sound from apps.
He must have,
because the way he was looking at apps was very solid.
Shaney's really aggressive on Banana right now. He's actually facing right next to the wall all the way down. But Trials is... He's tempting himself, isn't he? He's playing like in CT, like ready to go if need be, but he'll get to a situation where he'll probably end up getting smoked off or fully engaged on 3v1.
Look how defensive this position is as well on A.
There's only one smoke on the T side.
Yeah. Got one smoke to work with. They've been able to kind of get out.
Lumji still has his molly as well. So 30 seconds on the clock. And as I said, Trials is either going to get 1v3 or he'll have to come back at his team.
Manages to dodge the flash, does get one, it gets the trade from Cray.
That's the call for the wrap though.
Yeah, that's really nice stuff as Whisk is just going to push out. Lumji actually gets the kill in the end, and it's going to be 2 for 2, but Lumji falls now.
Not peaked during all of this.
Yeah, and that's sometimes the problem when you get so defensive. You get in that mentality of you have to stick in the same position, but he does find Cray anyway.
Yeah.
Can he get the second last year? It'd be really nice if he can stack up to 10
enough.
HP. Works out. Now he should be joined by his teammate. Yes, he is. Shaney eventually comes along with the...
I thought Cray spotted him when he ran back on the site. He did that little jump over the box.
Yeah, I thought...
It felt like their eyes locked. But
it was that moment of magic.
It might have been one of those, might be just be a dead body.
Yeah.
And he just kind of carries on. But it could have, the round could have been completely different. If Sheiky'd faced when his teammates were all fighting, they might have survived with 3-4 alive, potentially, obviously, but there is a risk doing that. And even though they won the round, their equipment is horrible.
But we saw what they did with Pharmacist before.
Instantly boosting on the corner. So Winterwane didn't do that smoke at the top this time. Which says it's different.
Oh, Shaney gets a nice shot to Cray.
Really good shot. Is he? Oh, he's staying. So both of them going. Okay, that's a bold call.
What a perfect start for Kings.
Very bold call to instantly rotate the 2 off. As soon as he gets contact, though, somebody has to come back.
Yeah, Whisk is gonna...
He's got an MP9.
He's hesitating.
It should be the other way around, I think.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be, either way, he'll be out long distance battles. If he's rotating CT and they're coming in, what are you going to do with an MP9 at range there, really? Like, I mean, not the angle he's holding right now as well. Ideally, you want that MP9
he's
inside.
Hoping for some sort of signal, isn't he? Some sort of sound cue to give him an indication of where he should be going, or waiting for someone to tell him where he should be going.
Yeah, the issue is they've got no control on A. Like, they don't have mid, they don't have apps, so they have to play with him holding that angle just in case. Which means Shaney will get overwhelmed very quickly if he doesn't land the first shot. I mean, good counter flash.
Even if he does land the first shot, I feel like he'll get overwhelmed.
Whisk is here. And he's put a smoke in, he needs to get right behind that.
Never fear.
Wait, where's he going?
Whisk is here. Or he's not here. Ultimately, as Dancy's takes down Shaney, and now Whisk's going to come to the party a little bit late.
And that's a save, honestly. I mean, Whisk's in ruins, but his best hope is he steals again.
Yeah, it's a shame as well, considering the start and Shaney finding that opening frag.
It's just one of those, like, arguably in the situation you're thinking, you've seen the AWP shoot another bullet. If he stayed there that long, he might be thinking, oh, he'll go back to Arch. Which is something you could have done. You could have put the rifler to be solo and then Shaney rotating in between both of them. But... it just works. Sometimes it works like that. You take the risk, and then they go to the other side, and you'll feel like a bit of an idiot. It's just how it goes sometimes.
13-12. This game is,
Tight.
yeah, very close. A lot closer than expected. But now it's going to potentially come down to kind of who has the balls, really. Like, KiNg's, they have the chance to win this series if they, win this map, if they can just put that one more on the board, get a little bit of money on their backs. But Wind and Rain know full well. Yeah, Wind and Rain know how far they are ahead with money.
Dancy's got 9,000, 3 of them on 5k at least. And the KiNg's side, Shaney's standing a wall.
That last round was the round. That opening pick, that was their chance, really. You'd expect Wind and Rain to take this map just judging on the economy.
Yeah.
But, you know, I've seen stranger things happen.
Yeah, they've got all smokes on the CZ side, but the issue is, Wind and Rain know that they haven't been playing mid at all this game. They played it for that first buy round and against the ecos and everything, but, you know, playing against the ecos is different, you know, animal really, isn't it? Different beast. Shaney's just holding mid with the deagle right now. It's very, very slow from Wind and Rain. Like, they're fully playing it to try and make their opponents overthink it. Which, I mean, it has worked at times so far.
Yeah. I mean, and it's good practice as well for Wind and Rain to play as if they were playing against the best team in the world, right? You respect them. Or at least you should respect any team.
Just as long as you're doing things together, it always works as good practice. So they get top mid control. They did something similar to the Fnatic way of taking mid from the Pronex days, about 3-4 years ago.
Oh.
He'll be peak.
He finds one, finds two as well after spamming the deagle. Can't get the third, but Shaney's done his job.
Yeah, 2 kills is really big. Especially as he's the guy with the least equipment.
Humji gets Astra as well, jumping up above him. That's just now a 2v4. This is a great opportunity for KiNg's.
He's not going to be able to use it, is he?
Nobody can use the FAMAS perfectly, and 14-12. Really nice round from KiNg's. You were saying Wind and Rain, they were taking it slow, respecting their opponents, but well. 2 more rounds for KiNg's to take the map.
Really big round from Shaney again, though, with the deagle alone.
And I mean, the first shot, great. Second shot, unfortunate. Like, but that's just the deagle, right? Like, you can spam it sometimes, and it is gonna eventually do some damage.
Triple banana. Are we gonna see anything different from Wind and Rain though? They've been doing regular defaults so far. This is slightly different. They normally have a guy second mid and then 1-ups, but they know Fry's through the smoke. They're gonna flash it and lots of peaks. They're not gonna check handbags.
Oh, only
Dancy's probably should have waited. Like with how the peaks were working out then.
Oh, now suddenly out of nowhere.
I didn't realise Shaney got a kill.
Yeah,
when he died.
on the other
I
side.
thought it was only the 2. 15 HP. He has 4 grenades though.
He's going to get the bomb down.
The issue is, they're both coming from different directions. Oh, did Shiki see him? I don't think he did. It's really awkward because Astra hasn't used any of his grenades, which puts it in a really awkward predicament.
And they need to communicate here now.
Shiki's got
I think Shiki.
If he checks this, it's
Yeah, and that is going to be the round. 15-12, 1 away now from taking the first map, and what a start that would be from KiNg's. They were what, 5th in their group? 4th? The 4th in their group. Sorry, 2 in 6.
They scraped by Luminary 2-1 on Monday.
They have one round away from going 1-0 up against Wind and Rain. Wind and Rain, who were 2nd in their group. With a 6-2 record, one of those victories, of course, being against KiNg's as well in the first week of the Premiership.
But it is a best of 3.
It is, yes.
So it's the full 3-map situation if they do potentially have the chance. Yeah. Again, triple banana.
I would expect most players to be used to playing best of 3s by now. I won't accept best of 3 as an excuse of tiredness or fatigue.
Oh, come on. Like the argument most people go with is that best of 1 is random.
Yeah.
Isn't it? That's what they would usually go for. And then if you're losing best of 3, they'll try and find a different excuse, but ultimately that's, you know, bigger sample size, I suppose, is the best way of putting it.
I mean, what I can say is a best of 3 certainly allows you to warm up into the next game, so maybe we'll expect
if you start
better.
the best of 1, you can be put all the way back.
Aggression from Shaney now. He does know where one player is, but Craig gets the headshot.
They still have 3 banana though. There's the 2 players still here.
Charles gets the second.
The first one. And trade, yeah. That's nice.
3v3.
So look at the map. The bomb is down T stairs, but all these players on the T side are way up.
I mean, it's been a pretty sporadic game. There's been some messy moments.
Yeah. Scrappy. Which is... I did try and say, if KiNg's were to get anywhere close to winning, it'd be
very scrappy game. You've been quite the prophet.
Lumji gets this kill, and that should be the call. He's got all the info.
And it should be the game as well, with Link only on 16 HP.
Lumji has all of his grenades.
About to go 1-0 up in this series. Maybe I'm making too much of a big deal about going a 1-0 up, but I think this is a massive victory for them. Definitely an unexpected one.
I mean, when you take all the consideration, like all the info we had, you know, with the fact that the first team off the series, Wind and Rain play loads. They beat them 16-5, 16-6 in the first, like, previous result.